paranormal. Because we're going to start hunting, and we're going to have, once we get the video going, we'll videotape that stuff, and then during the show, during the segment, we'll have that video up and ready to play, and then people can actually...
Yes, and for Valentine's Day, my hubby, love him, bought me my paranormal stuff.
So you got it in.
Well, it's all, like a lot of it's coming this week. The only thing that I'm waiting on is my EMF detector. It said it's going to be a few weeks out, but I got to order all my stuff. The only thing I don't have is the night vision camcorder, which I want to get, which is kind of expensive. So I got to,
That's just not on every camcorder now? I think every camcorder has that, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Have that feature? Or at least it just turns everything green.
And, I got most of my stuff from eBay. I mean, all my paranormal stuff. So I'm really excited about that.
So we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to get a laptop. Matter of fact, if anybody's out there's got an old laptop, they just I'll refurbish it and use it for broadcasting. That's it, because I don't need to use it for storage. Heather's in the studio; she can attest. This is a monster next to me.
Yeah, yes,
this thing is a freaking beast.
It is.
It's got a 250 gig solid state hard drive, which is the top of the line.
It's insane.
And then for storage, it's got a 3 terabyte hard drive at 7,500 RPM.
Crazy. So,
I'll take it down there and get their old laptop wiped, and I'll just use it for broadcasting. So if anybody's got an old laptop, they just want to donate to the show, to the paranormal show, so we can go out and broadcast this stuff and capture it. Of course, we're going to drag Huggy with us.
Of course.
Because Huggy's got he's the audiovisual guy, or he'll teach us how to do it, one of the two. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
so, the other day I was sitting thinking, and, we've talked about our stories, of our ghost stories and all that. And I don't know if it was something that I put out of my mind for a long time, but the other night I had, I don't want to say a dream. It's kind of like a nightmare of what happened when Kayla was little. My oldest, our daughter. I was living at my ex-mother-in-law's. Okay. Mm-hmm. And she lives in a very historical area in Dade City, which is in Florida. And she had this old fireplace. And it freaked me out. I don't care how many times I walked into that house. It freaked me out. Well, we ended up having to stay there. Me and Kayla did. And I had a crib, kind of like a portable crib.
Yeah.
Okay, so we put it out in the living room. I was on the couch. And this was the worst that I think it's ever been, that I actually feared for not only my life, but my child's life. I went to sleep, and something kept telling me to get up, that something was out near Kayla. So as I opened my eyes, there was this dark guy. I mean, it was just, I don't want to say it was a shadow, but you could see his features. And it felt like he was holding me down. And I just, I screamed. I was like, get away, And I jumped up and I got Kayla, and we were gone. I left that day.
I left the house.
I left that night and never went back. And it was so weird, though, because for the longest time, I didn't remember that happened. You
just got to push it out of your mind.
I guess so, because it was so, normally I would not be afraid of anything like that. But this scared the living bejeebers out of me.
Well, I've walked through abandoned houses during my job, and I used to go housing. You find old farmhouses and you walk through, because I like the history of it. You look at the history and you get those feelings, or you walk into dark places. And I think as I got older, especially being a police officer, because you walk down dark alleys.
Yeah.
And you just get that feeling of invincibility, which is kind of dangerous. But
when
I was a kid, my father and I and my sister took a sailboat trip. On our sailboat, red sails, and the boat was called Red Sails, and it had red sails.
Go figure.
And it was a boat that my dad and one of his close friends bought. It was sat in a barn for years. It was built in 1932. It was an old wooden sloop.
Oh yeah.
And so they restored it, and I helped my helped my dad and his friend Dick Babcock restore it, and it was a really cool boat. And I grew up on that boat, swimming, getting drugged behind it. If you ever got drugged behind a sailboat, it's really fun. And you just hang onto a rope in the water as they go and climb up the rope. But anyway, we went on a trip to Beaver Island and all the island chains of Lake Michigan. And one island, and I think it was called Squaw Island, had an old lighthouse. And we went into the lighthouse, and of course it was abandoned, but it was an old brick lighthouse back in the days when they had lighthouse keepers.
Yeah.
And I remember walking through there, and it was me and my sister behind my dad, and my dad thought I was scared to death. I mean, I was 11. I think my sister was 8. And every time he'd stop, I'd bump into him, and my sister'd bump into me. So he was having a game of it, walking through the dark, trying to get to the tower because we wanted to get up in the tower. And every time he'd stop, it'd be boop, 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 boop. And finally, I figured out what he was doing. And he asked me, he said, what are you scared of? I'm like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And see, that's the thing.
And
There's
now,
so many people that are so afraid of the unknown.
Now, ever since then, especially when I'm older, I'll get into situations where like I told you, the situation where I had the protoplasm hit me on the call with the thing. And now, instead of being afraid, I instantly get curious.
Yeah.
And I'll stop and I'll wait. Like walking through the state cemetery at night as a police officer, you see shadows, you see them.
Yeah.
And we'd get calls of guys walking around in the cemetery in old uniforms.
Right.
And these are people that just not the same person calling. I don't know what's going on behind me here.
Sorry. They're like going to take this guy's head apart.
I have no idea. We've got this big screen that Cesar brought in, and of course he's tearing his stuff down.
Oh, they're doing a hair transplant surgery.
Is it a hair transplant surgery?
Yeah, that was
I have no idea.
Scary.
I put ghost stories up there, and now we got some guy drawing circles on heads and stuff. Well, hey, let's take a break.
Okay, sounds good.
Real quick.
You know that's what you do with your fear.
Oh my God, I have no idea what I do.
But hey, make sure everybody calls in tonight.
Yeah, call in tonight. If you can't call in the 866 number, call in this number. I should just write it down so I don't have to keep going back to my account. But if you'd like to call in and be a part of the show, please feel free to do so. The number is 512. It's still running blazingly fast. 512-539-0357. 512-539-0357 to be on the show. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Ring Central, which will be handling our calls tonight. Also by Centex Computers Hutto and Eat24.com. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and you're in the Witching Hour here on the air. Ever have a computer issue that you can't figure out? Is your computer running slow, locking up, or giving you the blue screen of death? Now you have a store that not only can diagnose your rig, but if needed, upgrade that tired old workhorse. Centex Computers in Hutto is equipped not only to fix your computer, but give you an honest analysis of what needs to be fixed. Let's face it, your home computer is not only convenient, it's essential for your home or your office to stay in touch in this new virtual world. Now you have a place to take your computer for honest and reliable service. Visit www.centexcomputers.com for locations and times. Centex Computers Hutto is the official computer experts for On the Air with Mike Allen.
Night Talk with Joe Rocks. 10 p.m. Eastern Thursdays is now on Ustream TV. Spreaker for replays and live. On Live 365 exclusively on Armed Radio Global. Attention World of Tank gamers. Armed and its affiliated divisions are recruiting entire clans and tankers. Armed, the largest and most progressive gaming community on the World of Tanks gaming platform. Now on 3 servers. To join, visit www.armedtanks.net or hashtag need a toaster. Toast that, bitches.
Is your wife wicked hot? Or is she just cold? Do you just want to take a hot shower? Call Savino Mechanical for all your heating, hot water, and cooling needs. Savino Mechanical has been servicing Greater Boston and Southern New Hampshire for over a quarter century. Quality 24-hour service, reasonable rates, satisfaction guaranteed, licensed and insured. And remember, at Savino Mechanical, we are not comfortable until you are. Call Savino Mechanical today at 1-855-624-4280. That's 1-855-624-4280. Savino Mechanical.
Hi, now I know you hear Joe Rocks on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, eat24.com. With over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry. Many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
Who's the candy man? Why, Brian Smiley, of course. Brian Smiley Candy Company. There you'll find aisles and aisles of every candy imaginable. Brian Smiley Candy Company is located at 35 Industrial Parkway in Woburn, Massachusetts. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30 p.m. or call them at 781-935-1660. Brian Smiley is the candy man.
Armed Radio Global presents its new 2015 Talk at Night lineup.
Mondays 8 p.m. Eastern. Spot On with Lino and Tom.
Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Mondays and Fridays, 10 p.m. Eastern.
On Tuesdays, Talk Time with Val, 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by High Five at 10 p.m. Eastern with Johnny and Mikey.
Wednesdays on the air with Mike Allen, 10 p.m. EST. And Thursdays Night Talk with Joe Rocks, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Join the talk now on Ustream TV. Replays on Spreaker. Exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Welcome back to the show. When you ask when does the comedy start? Yeah. Well, usually, by this point, we're pretty lubed up and having fun. And, for those regular listeners of the show, tonight was a very special night and a very big step in this program because we had a very accomplished movie producer on here. I had Emmy nominees calling in. I mean, oh my God. So I'm still kind of flying on high at cloud nine with that. So I don't really care if we get stupid in here, but yeah, it happens. It happens.
So, my friend Melody that I was telling you about, she has a cemetery in the woods. She owns property, and they found a cemetery back there that she has, that she owns now, I guess. And she actually posted some of the pictures on our paranormal site. For people to see. Yes. And she wants me to come out there. Her sister's going to go out and do an investigation in June, I believe, and she wants me to come out also to do the investigation with them and check it out.
If you guys are listening right now, go to OTA Paranormal. It's under radio station. It's one of our segments here on the air, and like it. So you can spread the love and the joy. Like
it. Tell us your stories. Write your stories on there, or if you don't want to write it down, then call us and tell us your stories.
God, we got to get in that building.
Yes, I know.
I got to try to reach out and get a hold of him again. I messed up and I lost the number, so it won't be hard to get the number again. So.
Yes, because I am just itching for another investigation.
And the buildings I'm talking about is the sanitarium in Taylor.
And I have a picture of it on our site. Mm-hmm. Yes, very awesome.
Yeah, using that as the headline there. So your friend, is she listening right now?
She is.
512-539-0357. Give us a call. 512-539-0357. Mike, why do you keep closing the door? Are you going to get naked or something?
Yeah, totally.
Holy cow.